they see me in public after seeing me on YouTube or in any of these web sleuth groups. Sometimes it's different. Like, I literally just had 4 girls in the Fred Meyers waving at me and saying, "Hi, Sean." One of them said, "I'm a famous YouTuber." I don't know about famous, but I think infamous is probably a little more to the point, and I am going the wrong way. My car is the other way. I suppose going down by Scott is just a matter of reflex, safety and all that. And that's not any measure of any disrespect towards them youngins. Just not sure how I feel about little kids following me places. Hello. There's a lady who just walked by who literally looks like my friend Anna. And I was going to wave hello and I remembered Anna's dead. Anyway, it's nice to get pleasant hellos or highs or how are yous. It is a little strange when I got 4 of them when there's not like completely busy, but it's pretty busy here at the Fred Meyers. There's 4 girls waving at me and following me around in there saying, "Hi, Sean. Hi, Sean." But that's one of those things that it can bring you negative attention and get people to severely dislike you and, of course, jump to the wrong conclusion. Anyway, one of those young ladies, she was here for one of the situations with Molly. So that's how she knows me. She's, I guess, got an older sibling in the group that was there that night, like with Jason and Scott and Dallas and all them. There's, I guess, about a dozen people overall that were witnesses to that. That's a pretty significant number. So, I don't know, with the negative connotation that it could have and the implications that it makes in people's heads, the assumptions that it brings, they're not healthy for me. They don't result in healthy actions towards me. Now, hopefully, people don't go out of their way to play Molly and pretend like I'm some sort of a horrible person because somebody else is saying hello or because somebody else knows who I am, because, well, I don't hold ill intent. I've got plenty of intent that is not nice, but it's not ill. It's intended for our safety, and that needs to be mentioned and pointed out. One of the things about people not helping me because their lives and their family lives were threatened, well, I tried to get myself locked up. That did not fucking work. Even trying to force them to lock me up did not fucking work. I even did something that I knew come with a 20-year minimum sentence, and they still didn't lock me up. That's right, I had threatened the President of the United States at the time, Donald Trump. Why did I threaten him? Well, I figured that was the only way to force the son of a bitches that I needed to look at the information, to actually do the job of looking at the information, trying to force it into their hands and whatnot. And besides that, although these young ladies, they might be in their mid-20s for all I know, I just don't know. There's a young lady the other day, I was pretty sure she was about 16 or 17, and I was like, I don't want to be talking to no kids. Well, it wasn't quite like that, but it was a situation where I wasn't comfortable with her because of her age. Pulled her out her ID and she was like, I don't know, in her 30s, I guess. I can't remember. I was going to say like 32 or something, but there's another lady. I was pretty sure she was 14, but her boyfriend's 26 and she's 24. Oh, where the hell is my lighter? There it is. Mostly I try to avoid any of them that look that little. I figure just people's assumptions are bad enough. Because people actually do horrible shit, including murdering people over assumptions. Earlier today, I thought I was going to get in a car accident from sneezing. There was traffic, so I couldn't pull off the road, and I kept on sneezing. Finally, I was able to take a left on 3rd and make it down all the way to a park before I could pull over. Ugh. Anyway, I am, I guess, headed back to my vehicle. There's got to be somewhere I can go and build something tonight. I don't know. I like making things. But I figured I had to turn on the camera in case those young ladies followed me any more than they already did. I wasn't embarrassed, but I didn't want to acknowledge them too much because, well, I wanted to acknowledge them because they acknowledged me. But I didn't want to have an entourage, obviously. That wouldn't just be creepy to me, that would be creepy to people's parents and people's grandparents. Well, probably a lot of other people too. So it's not just me, and I'm sure those young ladies hopefully have thought about that. But you never know. I hold no animosity if they don't. Anyway, I'm gonna go check in with Scott, let him know I'm still alive. They didn't have what I was looking for here in Fred Meyers, but I did get to use the bathroom. If I go buzz customer service, then they can call the right department. Ooh, it feels good. Arr. Although it's not technically my booty, I suppose it's my thigh because it's on the side, but dang. Alright. Well, they got gas containers, but I can't see the price on them. Please. I'm doing all right. I was wondering how much your gas cans are. It only has the prices for the big diesel ones.
Give me 1 second, I'll tell you.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what she brings up.
All right. There's a 1 gallon, a 2 gallon, and what's the other one? A 5?
So 1 gallon, 2 gallon, and a 5 gallon. Yep.
Yeah.
Which one?
I want to check the 1 gallon first.
$14.99.
All right. The 5 gallon.
$25.99.
And the 2 gallon.
$17.99.
All right. Well, I'm too broke for any of them today, but I know which one I'm gonna get. Thank you.
No problem. Here, let's see. There you are.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Not a problem.
Oh shit. That is not what I meant to do. All right, so $14.99 for a 1 gallon. It's only $3 more to get a extra gallon. I don't know. I don't see a need for a 5 gallons since that kind of screws with my shoulder as well as my back. Now if it was something where I could just go ahead. That lady looked like Danny. She's a lady I knew in Colorado. She was the girlfriend of one of the folks that worked at Starbucks, and now she's a teacher. Pretty cool lady. She looks like Audrey Hepburn in her youth, although she hates hearing it. Ugh. Anyway, I don't think them youngins meant any harm, and I also don't know how old they are, so I don't know. They might be old enough to talk to. I'm just curious if they're all tiny. I like to stick around and hang around with people more my own age, maybe a little older. Usually a little older. But a lot of times people my age or older, they got kids of their own, grandkids. But that's a different scenario than having 4 tiny people following me around in Fred Meyers, even if it's only for like 30 paces or so. All right. Also, I want to mention, they didn't mean anything by it, I'm sure. And I guess I should be glad for the recognition. Thank you for the recognition. I do feel a little bit rude for letting the young lady or asking the young lady who's at my car to make sure it doesn't do any backflips, because I've been gone a while, but she's waiting on one of them 2 gentlemen I spoke with in there anyway, so if she'd have drove off, I'd have been fine with my car doing backflips while she was gone. Boo! I was recording. There was 4 young ladies in there that I guess they recognized me from my YouTube channel. One of them was that little blonde girl who was there that night when Molly was yelling at me when you guys were here. I guess she was here for that too. So I was recording and talking about the experience. Oh, there's the clouds again going over the mountain. Earlier it was all Halloween looking, because it was like phasing off the mountain with like sporadic trees sticking out the top. It was just cool looking.
It's always fun if there's, sunset going on while it's just back and
I like the fog here at night too, but it creeps a lot of people out, which is probably the best part.
I mean, I like it as long as it's not one of those like movie night scenario styles.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm not going to run like that anyway. That's just dumb. You know what I learned from horror movies? It's not smart to wear high heels or skirts. Especially if they're tight fitting. And besides that, I think that sneakers are perfectly acceptable office attire. There it is. I friggin' knew I had one. So you're stuck here till 11:15?
That's Jared. I'm here until 10:30, but we do 10:30.
Yeah, I know this is a good congregation and a pretty decent conversation too.
Yeah, currently going, just waiting for Mom and Pop to get back with some food.
That works?
Just because the truck on for makes it doesn't take like several minutes by us.
And here I am, getting you to roll down the window and talk to me. Did my car do any backflips?
No,
Very nice.
it didn't even do a barrel.
Now that I would pay to see. Even if I was like flat broke and owed money. I don't think those folks are parked the right way. You know? Yeah, usually people who park weird like that are cops. Which is always weird to me. Why do cops park like that?
They tell us to park the right way. I don't know, it makes me feel like I've been being watched. Oh, it's just sitting there like ever since you went in. And it's like, okay, you guys.
Oh, Probably somebody with lots of time on their hands. Or somebody who wants to talk to me alone. Or somebody who wants to talk to you. No, because they have plenty of opportunity to talk to you alone.
Yeah.
It's probably too late to take hands in, isn't it?
I'm not the one with that info. That's not a fact. What's body?
I'll check you what time it is on my phone.
650.
6:50. I think they're still open for another hour. Although I am slightly chilly, so I'm gonna put something else on first. Might charge up my phone a little bit too. Depending on how I'm feeling, I might even walk in there and get myself some more of them jelly beans. They're only $1.25 per package. I gotta squish them before I eat them, but it works. Alright, well, I'll let you warm up since you got the vehicle running. Well, I'll try to keep you company. Depends on if I leave to eat or if I just get jelly beans. Oh. Alright, where's my charger? Oh. Make sure everywhere I go that I record what I'm doing and where I'm going and why. Of course, none of that ever goes to court, does it? If you notice, whenever I tell people I'm gonna turn them in, from the time I start making an effort, it takes them time to try to get their effort going. But they're able to make it in first because I gotta be afraid to go in and talk to the police because I got no family to go in with me when there's an emergency and a fucked up situation. They just tell me I need to forget about it and whatnot. Oh. Yeah, I can understand why somebody parking the wrong way 30 yards off with their headlights pointed right at your vehicle. I can understand how that would be kind of unnerving for a young lady. I do have recording devices for my vehicle. I do need to get an SD card that's a little bit bigger for my rear view mirror cam, and then I have another one that's just a dash cam, and I was thinking about sticking that on the rear. I actually bought that so that my little sister could record people following her, because she was saying that some black vehicles were following her, and she described them a couple of times to me, and yeah, if they were undercovers, it makes sense, because she did describe the undercover police vehicles in Sydney, Nebraska. And I've seen the ones that they have here. They're the same ones that they had in Chapel. Chapel has a white one and a gray one and a black one. All three undercover vehicles, and it's a tiny town. Tiny county. The ones that they have here, so far I've seen a couple of black ones, and I've seen a gray one. Well, it definitely wasn't a police officer. Which is alright. Well, at least it doesn't look like one, unless they have a red undercover vehicle, but you know what? They might have a red undercover vehicle, who knows? Anyway, having an entourage, not really my idea of a good time. Now, I do have to say that the green vehicle, the ugly lime green vehicle that pulled up next to it, is a police style vehicle, and of course, as ugly as the color is, it's still got stock wheels on it, so that might be an undercover. I know they have a Dodge Charger in Chapel and another one in Sydney. Oh, and that one's got fancy flashy lights on the back. All right. Ah, that was interesting. It had a bank of flashy lights in the rear. What do you call that? The rear window. Alright, let's turn on my heater so I can defog my vehicle a little bit. Got my receipt for the expensive gasoline cans. If I bought all three, it would come out to $58.97. And I am thankful and grateful that he looked it up. I gotta try to save up for my car insurance for next month. And I gotta save up for my telephone for next month. And I gotta come up with gas. And, well, as long as the feeds keep going and there's no further physical or intimidation tactics towards me, I should be able to keep myself fed pretty alright. Jared and Scott and Jason and all of them are definitely decent to me. Talk to me like I'm a person. Make stupid jokes at me and I make stupid jokes back. You know, just shooting the shit, shooting the breeze kind of thing. But they also understand that I'm somebody who does need help. And whether or not they understand how much help I need or not, I don't know. I know for certain that they're not going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot. I know that they got their own families they got to worry about. And I'm thankful for what they done for me already. I mean, hell, they did give me a sandwich last night, but they're not expecting a sandwich to be in lieu of what's needed. And I definitely don't think of them as bad, horrible, or rotten people. Alright, so I got these monster teeth. Since I don't have any teeth, I figured I would take these right here. Maybe knock down the canines a little bit. I definitely got to clean them off before I stick them in my mouth. But then I can have teeth in my mouth and actually talk to people, and I suppose I'll look stranger than I already do with glow-in-the-dark teeth in my mouth, won't I? But it's the right season for it. For certain. I was hoping for the ones they had in like the early and mid 90s, you know, the ones that were almost anatomically correct. But they had fangs, and they were white ones. They weren't glow in the dark. But you can't always get what you want, right? Alright. You know how we end these videos. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Also, you know what? I look out for people for a reason. If any of these folks in this town were being victimized in front of me, yep, there are things that can be done. And oftentimes all it takes to stop something like that is to actually get involved instead of saying you're going to look the other way, because that's just horrible.